Did you and Helly all catch up?
Oh,
We did.
Did you tell her that you fucked her outie at the orphan?
Milkshake, such dirty words I have never heard coming from your mouth. I'd expect such from Dylan, but Milkshake, oh my gosh. Peace, y'all. What's good? I'm Honey Gold Jasmine, and I am obsessed with Severance. And if you're here, that means you're obsessed too, because I'm still a super small channel. And I'm also a music artist, so this is also low key like a side quest for me, and I'm loving it. I feel like it's a place for me to just let off my week, the stresses of the week, the pressures of being an artist, the pressures of being a grant writer and always having to meet deadlines. This, ironically, the show about work gets my mind off of work. And I like to keep it cozy and cute here. We will be doing some like light recapping in the reactions. So please know that there will be spoilers. Y'all probably damn near know more than me at this point since I'm posting this hella later. And I be trying to get to it faster, but yeah, still trying to balance the life of a full-time entrepreneur, artist. Yeah. Pedestrian that has to literally pay like 10 times normal prices for the cost of living. Come on now. It's really real out here. You feel me? But I am enjoying just getting the time to sit, watch this episode, and build community with the other fanatics, the other crazy conspiracy theorists that are out there on the interweb. So come with me and you'll see my reaction to episode 5, Trojan's Horse. And before I get into my reaction, I just want to touch on my theory real quick so that y'all kind of know where my mind is coming from, my vantage point on all this. I think that Lumen is a organization, a corporation that runs itself like a cult, very much like a religion. And within this cult and religion, they've had people they've raised up in it, and they've had people that they've saved up in it, right? Through the act of severance. And while that has so many theories and things I can go into, I'll keep it light here and say, I think within MDR, they're affecting people's emotions and maybe even events outside in the world in these various cities. I do think that the file names are linked to at least real in the world of Severance cities that where they can kind of target them and lead them into Severance in some type of way, lead them to working for Lumen. And I think they're a very vicious company. They are targeting the opposition a lot, so maybe even attacks against the oppositional companies is something they do in MDR. I also think there's another subplot of the fact that Helly, because she is more so sort of a preacher's kid, right? She's born into it. She has to go about love and finding romance in a very particular way that's like approved and sanctioned by Lumen. And I think that led her to targeting Mark, maybe even seeing he had a wife who I do think that Gemma maybe was a whistleblower at some point and they caused her accident, but maybe she targeted Mark and was like, I like him. He kind of cute. And she's like, look, that's going to be my husband. When I go and become the CEO, I need a spouse. And if he's already in the company and, aware of what's going on to a certain extent, he's approved. I do also think that the act of reintegration is sort of a controlled opposition thing. I think that is still a goal that Lumen has for their employees. And if they can get them to see that they made the choice, right, that the Audi made the choice and the Indy made the choice, then they can kind of be like, well, you chose to be reintegrated, right? And I think it's all leading to the fact that they just want people to be fully devoted to them. And they'll go through whatever measures they have to do so. And people like, what's his, why can't I remember the man name? Because he get on my nerves so much. Ricken. People like Ricken, in my opinion, maybe already reintegrated, and if not that, in some way heavily influenced by Lumen, to then just get the same result that Lumen wants at the end of the day is whether you're severed or not, we're going to control you, and there's really nowhere to run. And yeah, I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm going to keep it cute because every character has their own storyline and theories and everything that we can go into. But I just want to get to this episode. I've been waiting all week just to be able to film this video at the same time that I'm reacting. So excuse me. I can't wait.
Hey, I'm sorry. I gotta get to work.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, so we see in this scene with Mark in his kitchen on the phone with Devin, he's now not telling Devin the whole tea. She don't even know about this whole reintegration thing, and he's on a whole new. I mean, it seemed like he got a little more pep in his step. I don't know what he's drinking, but I will say I like this Mark. I'm a little sad we may not get this Mark for much longer for when that reintegration start kicking in. But I mean, he's on to something right now. Literally, he's just going on about life as usual, which is so interesting when you think about it, right? The fact that all these things can be happening at work and it's a whole other world. And then when you go home, not only do you not remember it, but it quite literally just doesn't affect you and doesn't matter. And if they can just give you some BS reason why something happened at work, then you're good. I'm with Devin on that. Like, they're never telling the truth about that. And speaking of telling the truth, he for surely ain't telling her he reintegrated, and he definitely not telling her that the light is low key a controlled opposition thing from Lumen. They said the computers was telling him to burn that message into his eyes. So yeah, we gonna see though. Dr. Ragabi pulling up. What do y'all think he's drinking? It kind of looked like it had a citrus symbol on there. Like, is it a ginger shot or even worse, an egg shot? Because he didn't have no food in his refrigerator. See, the lack of food in this show be making me hungry. What is that? Is it they truly don't have food in this universe in the traditional way that we think of food, so they have to get their protein in other ways?
I'm sorry. I gotta get to work.
All right.
Yeah. Bye. Hey.
You need to get your dryer fixed.
Yeah, or you could just, like, not live here.
Okay, now, Dr. Ragabi, you can't be rolling up in people's house and trying to dictate how things got. Okay? That's the quickest way to get kicked out. I'm sorry. I don't come in my house telling me, oh, you should fix it, you should do that. Da, da, da. I get it. You can't come in and out. But what's with the attitude? I'm saying, like, girl, you got a free room and board? A test subject? That's what I'm saying, y'all. I don't know if Dr. Ragabi is just so against Lumen in the way that she's been presented to us. I'm saying.
To spare him knowledge of this contretemps.
Contretemps. I like it. It's kind of like shenanigans. We will be looking it up, though. Vocabulary check. Okay, let's get this straight. So, in this meeting with Mr. Drummond, Natalie, and Helena, they're saying that they're not telling the father, but then the father also somehow encouraged this arrangement of Helly returning back into the office rather than Helena playing Helly. And now we see Helena's real contempt for the innies and being that they're animals now. And I mean, she did almost get murked twice, so from that perspective, I get it, but she did feel like this before that happened too. What is that gonna look like? Helly's been asleep for how long? Technically. So to throw her right back into the office as if nothing happened with her personality. I mean, I'm excited to see Helly. I do prefer Helly over Helena, ironically, being the same person. But it will be interesting to see how is Mark going to finish his file with Helly damn near probably being like F Lumen. I mean, wow. This is such a unique plot line of literally two characters inhabiting one body and the lack of autonomy one ultimately gets when the interests of both of yourselves and the external entity is all competing. It's like three people fighting when really you should be your own main character in your story. Come on now, Helly.
About her.
And the work is mysterious and important. So we must give him her.
The work is mysterious and important. I love whenever they say that. They doing. Lumen know what they doing. They knew to put a kid here because if that was anybody else, Helly was finna be on sight. Squabble up. What's good? Because it's a kid. She was like, okay. All right. Show me milkshake. We see Helly, Mark, and Dylan walking down the hallway following Milkchick. He ends up taking them into the office and pretty much giving them a stern talking to that somehow, some way, everything Helena did was righteous. Come on now.
Answer my question!
Excuse me.
Once again, dealing with the things that we all want to say. Answer my question with the fist and everything. Come on now. We have questions. We all have questions, Dylan. We all don't know what the fuck going on. 2 seasons in, 5 episodes deep. We all don't know what's going on. So, Milkchick, what's up? Milkchick. He said Irving is on a extended cruise. That man is dead. Damn. We gotta pour one out for Irving. Helly is just like, this is my body. My body, my choice, Helena.
Have you ever heard the story of the Glockschuppen?
No, Milkchick. Nobody's heard the story of the Glockschuppen.
Let's assume we haven't.
He is not.
Damn, Milkchick actually looked a little sad. He looked a little sad for real. The innies have been radicalized. How do they go back from this?
The time to absorb all that has occurred.
When they get back to the MDR office, we got this weird ass triangular thing of a desk that they have to sit at, which is kind of weird. I mean, again, this is all about routine and them being in a certain routine kept them productive. So what is all of this about? Like, how do they keep trying to go on business as usual when their innies are essentially tainted and maybe not even able to complete the files in the same way? But obviously, I guess these disruptions don't really have an actual impact on the file now that I'm thinking about it. So, yeah, I need to know what is this all for? Is Mark a little salty that Helly is not Helena? Is he a little salty? Like, because why would he not pipe up and be like, yeah, we want to see our Irv off respectfully? Because he's actually low-key upset. He's upset that he was falling for Helena, who's not here no more. Come on now, Mark. Don't be trying to lose the plot. Don't lose the plot. We still looking for Gemma. And that's the thing. How does Lumen have all this stuff at the ready? He's surprised. Milkchick is surprised when they start asking for a funeral. But then he can immediately hop on the radio and ask Miss Wong to prepare a bereavement kit that they obviously already have at the ready. I don't know. Sometimes this stuff feels like an orchestrated experiment and they just want to see how they're going to react to different things. And now they're seeing how they're reacting to death. I don't know, man. Damn. Helly didn't even do nothing to deserve this. She stayed down. Like, she low-key took the hardest fall for real. So for her to be trying to see if Mark is okay in this bathroom and then he just like closed off, I get it, bro. But damn, Heavy, don't go too hard on my girl, okay? She's just a girl.
Say a question?
You may.
Oh, wow. The lore is crazy. So Milchick just revealed that they can sense their affections towards one another on some sort of scale? And Ennies can die on the severed floor? How are they dying on the severed floor? This is a lot of lore just dropped between this Milchick and Miss Wong conversation. Okay, let's really talk about this though. Miss Wong said you shouldn't let them have a funeral because it makes them feel like people. In y'all's opinion, do you feel like the Ennies are people? I think the Ennies are people. I think that they're literally people because they're still people physically. They just don't have the real world experience that makes you think of a developed person of their age. I don't know. I think that this whole notion of them not being people is definitely some Lumen BS because why wouldn't they be people? I mean, they're quite literally people with bodies. Like, I don't know. I think the body is all you need to be a person. There's people out there that never progress past a certain age because maybe they have some sort of like disease or they have a way that their mind works differently. And so they get stuck kind of at a certain age. Does that make them not a person or they don't experience the world the way we do? I don't know. It just seems so very, dare I say, maybe ableist a little bit. Dehumanizing. I mean, quite literally dehumanizing. Yeah, lots of lore dropped because now we know that Milchick is up for a performance review, and they already said that he's been doing terribly in that meeting with Mr. Drummond and Natalie. So I can only imagine what kind of punishments await the people that work to control the Ennies. A weird crossover, but the 9 seconds of silence that Milchick asked the Ennies to have during this whole weird funeral experience reminds me of the 9 seconds of applause that the company man does on his channel. Weird little crossover of the mind, my hip hop head mind and my Severance obsessed mind.
You may now lift your heads and open your eyes.
I didn't get my 9 seconds. Dang. Oh my gosh, I just had hella technical difficulties like back to back. But let's get in.
May now briefly partake in Irving's fruit head.
Now I can guarantee you that this watermelon of Irving's head at this funeral is a regular schmegular watermelon. It ain't from no Malaysia. I feel that in my soul. And now we're going to hear the musical stylings of Miss Wong. Or will we? Because she just immediately ran out and was like, absolutely not. I am not doing this. Dylan, really? You put the dick in contradiction? He is such a little kid. Milchick was looking at him like an irritating teacher. But only Dylan could really respect Irv like that. Irv and Dylan was low-key tight. Dylan didn't listen to him in the end, but that they was buddies. They was real friends. R.I.P. Irving. That hang in there that Irv said in the last episode definitely has to do with this poster and the overtime contingency and just that whole effort to not be complacent in Lumen's BS. So, Dylan, I hope you're listening now.
Look.
Dylan is a real one for revealing that Mark's wife is Miss Casey to Helly. Let me correct myself. But, why he don't care no more? I'm feeling away. I'm feeling away too. Like, what you mean you ain't said nothing? And you don't even care about finding her no more. And you don't even care that Irving's dead and gone. He's not just freaking not here. You already know how long we get down. Or do you not care no more because you got a little taste of that Helena, whatever she got going on. You know, you got a taste of it. And now it's like, forget my Audi's wife. Your Audi's wife? Bro, you was printing posters 3 episodes ago. What are we really talking about? Man.
That wasn't me.
Oh, okay. Okay, Mark. I'm not mad at it. Okay. I see his perspective on why he's holding back. Because at the end of the day, yeah, Lumen is now they're really coming to grips with the fact that Lumen is this all encompassing thing that isn't just a job but takes over your life. So why would he keep pursuing anything? I mean, then other than the file that he's supposed to complete, he feels hopeless right now. I can't say that he's doing the right thing, but I definitely get it. And I don't know how he's going to feel about her not being Helena. Is that a thing still? Or is it purely just, you know, him still wanting to find his wife, but he feels inhibited at this point. And I'm gonna progressively turn into a burrito as this video goes on because it is cold and I can't have the heater on because the sound is gonna interrupt with the filming. If I do so, the heater's literally right here. So yeah.
Mark, look, I'm not her. I'm not. Stop being a fucking asshole.
You are gonna be an asshole, Mark. You are gonna be an asshole.
Appreciation, and I accept that appreciation.
Natalie does not have the earpiece in talking to Milchick in the Lumen lobby. Well, I don't know if you can call this a lobby, but it's kind of like the main building, maybe on the second floor or something like that. But she doesn't have the earpiece in, so I wonder if that means that she's totally just all her right now, no board influence, and Milchick feels comfortable to bring up these paintings because of that. And yeah, how's she about to react? I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. I feel like the way Milchick is talking to Natalie right now is giving. I'm a grant writer, right? It's giving when you have to say that you serve a certain demographic without triggering the people that are like, oh my God, why is this for this one demographic? And you sort of have to talk around it and be like, diverse underserved communities, but like at the end of the day you do want this grant to go to indigenous people specifically, but then you got people that are like, no, nothing should be specific or whatever, it should just be on merit or whatever. And it's just like, okay, my nigga, sometimes initiatives need to happen so that people can actually have the opportunity that they would have otherwise not have had because they were prejudged by just how they look, not because of the actual intellect or the skill or the value that they bring. This is what this is giving. I saw a list that had all these terms that apparently they're going to start looking for in grants that they want to flag as sort of like too woke or whatever. It's like his speech is already sanitized with those words taken out so that he doesn't offend anybody. And that's hits a little too close to home because that is pretty daunting to not know if I'm gonna have an actual job writing grants for people because they're literally taking away the funding opportunities for people that really do need it. Natalie is not trying to say how she feel about the paintings.
Let us go.
So now we're flashing back into the scene of the funeral, and Dylan is the only one in the room, just taking it in and mourning Irvin's passing. But is it just me, or is the color grading on this a little more grayer? Or like even there's a vignette around the borders that just sort of makes it look drier and darker and more grim, which is fitting. And yeah, it's just something that's sticking out to me, and one of those really, really dope details that they do to drive home the message that they're trying to send. Whoa, so Irving actually did leave a note. He really did it. I want to see this elevator so bad. I want to see what happens and where it goes.
Here is the lunch menu.
Hey, in this meeting, in this performance review, Dr. Drummond said, "You gonna be here for a minute, buddy." Honestly, any review that's taking 4 to 6 hours, just find me a new job. Thank you. I'm about to review y'all and say, I don't need this. I'm sorry. That's too much. It's a brand new day, y'all. I kept having heck of problems with my phone not having storage. And once you get to deleting stuff, somehow you have less storage than you had before you start deleting stuff. So it's a whole new day, whole new storage on my phone freed up. We gonna be back into it. I literally am so devoted to this. I didn't watch the rest of the episode, so it's still gonna be my fresh reaction on the last half of episode 5 of Severance. So let's get back into it. All right, so hold on. I need a moment to process Mr. Drummond saying Mark completing the Cold Harbor file will be remembered as one of the greatest moments in history. And that instantly made me think of the fact that a lot of what we see of what Lumen creates is sort of these different time periods, the way they speak, different time periods, the technology they're using from the 70s, not quite matching up succinctly. And it all, for me, is coming together as something that not only are they influencing like maybe the behavior of people in these cities or areas, but quite literally influencing the history of people, quite literally influencing time. I don't know. Is it that big? It could be as small as like the present time, and there's places called Cold Harbor, but could be as big as some of the theories I've been seeing that Cold Harbor is actually referring to a battle that happened during the Civil War, the U.S. Civil War. And I maybe think there is some significance there to Kier coming from not only around that time, but Milchick even having conflicting feelings that are deeper than the paintings. Like, yes, the paintings were racist and were blackface, but there's probably even a deeper layer here where Milchick knows that he's fighting for the other side, quite literally, in the past, or somehow influencing that. Mr. Drummond looked very happy when Milchick said he was tightening the leash. Then we see Mark simultaneously just not completing the file, getting up and doing his own thing after having a reintegration symptom. Milchick, what you got a lot of work to do, okay?
Hi, Mark. Mr. Milchick. I see you left work 6 minutes
Wait, so, okay.
early. May I come in?
Hold on, because this part with Milchick barging in the elevator because Mark left early is hella funny, because I know somebody watching us had a job like myself. We've had jobs where you could kind of get away with leaving a little early. You work there for a bit, you find out the ways that they move and everything, and you make sure your job is done. You know what I'm saying? I'm not advocating for not doing your job. I'm just saying that if the job is done and I take a slow walk back to my car and I happen to be like, oh, I'm leaving work at that moment, and I'm did what I need to do. I'm just saying. So this is hella funny as far as work dynamics go. Like, bruh, come on now. What could I have done in the next 5 minutes that would have been that substantial? I mean, I guess they say don't change the world, so these are different circumstances, apparently. Ooh, ooh, ooh! Hold on, Milchick said that. Milchick said, "I'm not doing none of that. If it's smoke, it's smoke." Oh my God, hold on. That was chilling. Milchick just stepping to him like that. I already thought that Mark and Milchick was talking too close together in this elevator in an uncomfortable way, but goddamn, he closed that space even more. Woo! What you gonna say, Milchick? What's up?
Did you and Helly all catch up?
Ooh.
We did.
Did you tell her that you fucked her outie at the orphan?
Milkshake! Milkshake! Such dirty words I have never heard coming from your mouth. I'd expect such from Dylan. But Milkshake! Oh my gosh. Whew! Leader in waiting. Not CEO, leader.
Have a restful evening.
Have a restful evening. Does he know he's reintegrated? And that sleep is a connection to the any world for an outie and vice versa?
I noticed.
And Mark got that Petey cough. Didn't Petey have a cough when he started getting reintegrated?
Workers all across the world, it might beget a revolution.
But these aren't your ideas. These are not your...
Keep that in mind. Put a mental note. It might beget a revolution. That's their whole goal. They trying to get Mark to be this leader in some way, or at least empower a leader that can lead this Lumen revolution, and they redo and make the world anew in the eyes of Kier. You feel me? And sever everybody. You know, they're keeping it cute right now. Oh, it's your choice. But they already got people under control, including Ricken. My gosh. What is Devin? I feel for Devin, because she probably didn't sign up for this, and he just changing over time. She like, what is going on? Nat? And then Nat, who this woman, this strange woman you had up in our foyer? Come on now.
And you're hurting people too.
Okay. I will reflect on your word.
Yes, Devin. Tell him, because ain't nobody else gonna tell him. He looking at that check. For sure. And I appreciate him getting her feedback and just showing her what he's writing, but is he really going to listen to what she's saying right now?
Fiscal and creative opportunity unlike any I have yet seen.
What did I say? He said this is a fiscal. F that unique step. Fiscal. He just seeing that bag. That's how Lumen get you. If they can't get you through the mind, they're going to get you through the lack of soul. Come on now. Because you can't sell your soul, you give it. You sell it, you gave that, hey, here you go, boom, give me that for that. Give me that money for this. There. So hold on, and another thought. So what's really the Trojan horse? Is the Trojan horse your book, Ricken, to the severed floor? Or is the Trojan horse this book in your family? The mere fact that you are writing this book and open to these ideals, and hopefully will influence your child and influence your wife, that's the real Trojan horse, the other way around. These people are controlled by Lumen. Whether they know it or not, whether they're severed or not, everybody in this town is controlled by Lumen. The paintings, is this Irv? Whew, okay, Irv is alive. Irv, I care about Irv's outie, Dylan. I care, and he's alive. Call Tyrone. Irv on the phone.
They fired me. I think they know what my Indian was up to. Why were you at my house the other?
Okay, Irv has a homie that's also an insider trying to expose Lumen. And Bert and Irv don't know each other at all now that we see that Bert's been stalking him simply because he's like, who are you? Bruh. This show never ceases to amaze me. Who would have thought that Irv would be ended up having dinner with Bert and his husband? My mind is blown. Truly. I'm done. Not sure Audi can parallel park in less than 20 seconds. Come on. That is impressive, but that's hella random. Is he experiencing a whole nother parallel world as is any at this very second? Or are the memories just bleeding over? I'm still unsure if we can trust the doc. We gon' see. Can I be real here? Can I keep it all the way a bean, all the way 100, all the way real? The episode shouldn't have ended right there. I mean, we know he's grieving his wife. he had a parallel experience being in the office, being at home, seeing his wife. Did we need that to be driven home even more if it wasn't adding? It felt a little like filler at the end. I'm not going to hold you. This episode is probably my least favorite if I was to rank episodes, which I low-key might do in a future video. But at least off of first watch, I am pretty underwhelmed. But this is still my favorite show. But as a major fan of the show, I'm like, okay, we see Ricken getting further corrupted. Been seeing that coming. We see Mark dealing with his own bouts of reintegration sickness. Okay. Helly's trying to reassimilate to the team, but now has to navigate problems she didn't create. And Irv, I will say that to me has been the most exciting development of this episode. Seeing him get invited to dinner with Bert and his husband. And I don't know, in the moment, I feel it's sincere. I do feel like there's some sincerity in him not knowing who the heck Irv is. I don't know his intentions. Maybe he wants to make his husband feel more comfortable and show him, hey, I truly don't know this guy. There's maybe something going on at work that we don't understand, because with him being laid off and not being told the reason too, Bert most likely is like, what the heck is going on for real? So, with that being said, I'm hoping that this next episode tonight, because y'all know I be... yeah, right on the mark with turning this in like homework. But we're gonna see with this new episode, hopefully, what the heck is going on with all these loose ends that are developing. And there's so many loose ends. I feel like I'm Mark sitting on the bed in the intro scene with all them babies crawling around. All these loose ends feel like them babies crawling around, and I don't know what the heck to do. I don't know where the cry is coming from. Come on. I'm hoping that this next episode answers some questions. If you watch to the end of the video, I love you. And I'm just hoping that you appreciate each video equally. And know that we're going to be here once again in a couple of days, reacting to the next one. So peace out to the outies and the innies.